whatsoever. And so he's saying that when it gets to the time of harvest and you see what is coming to you, don't blame God. That there is a system that insists that God is not mocked. You don't need to tell us what you are sowing. The harvest is obvious. It will reveal the kind and the quality. Don't tell me you prayed for 5 hours. Don't tell me you studied for 2 hours. No. If it is a seed, God cannot be mocked. Don't tell me that you gave and you give every day. That may not be necessary, except just to encourage people. But that everything that is hidden eventually as a harvest. Every seed grows because it is buried. But the harvest, even if buried, must be dug out at the point of harvest. Is someone learning now? This is very powerful. So he says, let us not be weary. That means this consciousness is what empowers you. That when you want to give up, you remember, I am a farmer. My tomorrow has to be greater than my today. If you do not have this revelation, weariness will be your lot. He's saying when you see people continue, when you see that they do not give up, it's not just that they are superhuman, as it were. The tendency for weariness comes upon all men. But this is the revelation that keeps others going. Prayer, for instance, is not a gift. You can be helped by the Spirit. To assist does not mean to replace your effort. It means to make possible and to make easy. That is the assignment of help. So when you invest in prayer, even when you are tired, even when you are sleeping, when you invest in the word, like you left your home, some of you flew in, it's a seed. You're coming here, you're sitting under this grace, it's a seed. It's part of your commitment to a tomorrow that looks like what God has said. Listen, if most people know this, we will stop blaming God for the many outcomes in our lives. He gave you a seed and left a principle. The name of the seed is whatsoever. Did you ever know that a seed, whatsoever, goodness, whatsoever a man sows, who does the sowing? A man. Whatsoever a man sows, he says, that will he reap. A man can mean a man of God. A man can mean a man desiring influence. A man can mean a man desiring resources. A man can mean a man desiring efficiency. Any kind of man, provided you are a man, you have the gift and the exclusive privilege of being a farmer. But the Bible says you can sow to the flesh and you can sow to the spirit. And if you sow to the flesh, you will of the flesh reap corruption. If you sow to the spirit, you will reap life everlasting. How do you sow? By doing. Your doings. As you engage upon the earth every day, in words, in deed, your actions, the Bible lets us know that a planting is happening. Pastor Dele is coming to Leicester. Your obedience was a seed. While you obeyed, you were sowing. Today, we see that he sent you because the harvest speaks. You see that now? Let me show you. Give us Acts chapter 4 from verse 42. How do you sow? By continuing steadfastly. Continuing steadfastly. 42. Acts chapter 2 verse 42. Acts chapter 2 verse 42. Thank you. And they continued steadfastly. Sowing is in your doing. Sowing is in your consistency. They continued steadfastly, not occasionally, not once in a while. They continued steadfastly in the apostles' doctrine, in fellowship, in breaking of bread, and in prayers. Next verse, please. The Bible says, and fear came upon every soul, and many wonders and signs were done by the apostles. It says, and all that believed were together and had all things in common. Next verse. It says, they sold their possessions and their goods and parted them to all men as every man had need. And they continuing, how long? I'm showing you how we sow. Continuing daily in the prayer, continuing daily in the study of the word, continuing daily as you invest in your mind, continuing daily as you build strategic relationships, continuing daily as you pay attention to God's blueprint for your life and your destiny. They continuing daily with one accord in the temple, breaking bread from house to house, did eat their meat with gladness and singleness of heart. Verse 47, praising God and having favor with all men. I like this one. And the Lord added. Who did the addition? But the consistency was the believer, the apostolic community. The Lord added to the church daily as should be saved. Now let me submit to you that many believers, please look up, many believers believe in the love of Jesus, and that is powerful. We taught that in the morning. Many believers believe that they have been called onto a life of victory, a life of glory, and that is true. But most people have not studied the dynamics as to how that happens. So the average believer is hoping that one day his life or her life would magically evolve to become an instrument of glory. One day things will change, we say. One day I will be great. No. The Bible says that your tomorrow is a harvest. You can predict it by looking at what you are doing with your today. If you sow to the flesh, it will be unfair and be unjust to sow laziness, laxity. Are we together now? Despising spiritual things, and then you want to reap the destiny of one who has committed himself tirelessly. It does not work that way. The Bible says if that happens, God has been mocked.